Alright. We live. That's bad timing. Alright, started minutes early. I know. I apologize. Started like 15 minutes. Audio's working good on my end. Looks good, looks good. Let me go to Discord. Send this out. Might have to jump off. We'll see. One of the twins just woke up, so. If everybody on here could please like and retweet the stream if you're on X. This is also streaming on YouTube. I gotta check to make sure that's working too. Says that it is. This is also streaming on YouTube. Yep. Cool. Alright, I'm glad that I bought this extra webcam that has a microphone on it, because now I don't have those audio issues anymore. Thank you for retweeting the stream. I know I started like 15 minutes early, so try and let people know that I started early. One of the babies is awake, but the other two are asleep, so try and keep it that way. Oh, gotta let people come in. I know, again, I started early. Thank you, Kennedy, for retweeting. Thank you, Liv. Got some really good chart setups this week. Excited. Alright. So, let me get Canva also pulled up too. That way I can write down the watch list on here as well to send out to Premium afterwards. And the new subscription here on X, they finally allowed me to do. So now I have a subscription on X where I post the charts that I send in Premium along with some of the trade ideas. I think there's three over there right now that I posted. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and start here in just a minute. Again, I know I started 15 minutes early, so I'm just trying to let people know. So, you look tired. As kids wore you out today? Yes, the kids wore me out today. Got up early at 8. We got all the kids ready and went to one of the big parks, and then went there for like an hour and a half or so. Did grocery shopping, went and picked up lunch, came home, hung out with the kids for a little bit before I went to the gym. Came home from the gym, had dinner, showered, went back to a different park across the street from my house because Everly wanted to play again. Did that for a little bit, and then bath time for all three kids, and then just put them down at around 8 o'clock. So we had a very eventful Sunday, but we had a good time. It was fun. Yeah, that Zoom chart, I really like it. Alright, so again, if everybody could please like and retweet the stream, let people know we are starting now, early. Apologize, don't apologize. We're getting the work done. Bum, bum, bum. Send this out real quick. So SPY, QQQ, IWM obviously is the normal 3 that I'm going to do. I have a lot of others that I'm looking at this week as well. I'm not going to cover all of them, only a few of them. The other ones are for the premium Discord, and then obviously the ones that I sent already in the X subscription profile. But we got, let's see, SPY, QQQ, IWM, Tesla, AMD, and UPST. Those are the 6 that I am about to cover. And then there's 3 other amazing setups that I'm excited to see how these charts play out. I'm already in one of them. I believe I've already mentioned on Spaces last week that I was in the swing position. And then there's 2 other ones that I'm looking to get in as well that look really good for swing positions. So if you're in premium, be ready. I'm going to do something different this week for trading in the premium Discord. I told the guys the other day. So after I said it in the mastermind class over the weekend. The biggest thing that I love is just finding key levels and finding those key zones of support and resistance, supply and demand. So this week in premium, I am taking off all the indicators other than my support and resistance, supply and demand indicators. I turn them on every now and then just to see if I miss something. But I like to find these levels and these zones on my own as well. But I'm taking off MACD, RSI, TTM squeeze, all moving averages, and EMAs, VWAP. I'm taking all of those things off of my chart, and I'm going to trade just on a naked chart like this for SPY. And then I will mark my key levels and then mark my key zones of support, resistance, supply, and demand. And I'm going to trade all week, whatever it is, SPY, QQQ, AMD, Tesla, doesn't matter. And I'm going to trade all week just doing that. I'm not going to have any crazy setup. And I want to be able to do that and then share the results at the end of the week for the trades. Try and do as many recaps as I can at the end of the day showing what I saw within the support, resistance, supply, and demand, candlestick chart patterns. Obviously, that's the only 2 things I can do. I can draw the trend lines and watch the candlesticks and the chart patterns because I'm just going to be looking at the general price action that's in front of me to take these trades. So on all time frames, same thing. I'll look at the 5-minute, 10, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, and weekly, and monthly, just on a blank chart, and then just do stuff from there without any indicators. So I'm going to do that all week, and then share the results at the end and see how my week of trading goes. So it'll be fun. SPY, again, I already got it kind of marked off because I had this for the mastermind. For SPY, what I see here is here to right here. Got a level here. You got a level in here. You got a big level here. got a level, big level here. That's a big spot. And that right there, that'll be the zone. That can be a zone. So this is what I see so far on SPY. So, and I'll perfect this just a tad. So, and I'll mark this yellow. This is like what I'm gonna do all week. Just do things like this. But I'll use, I can use MMK high-low, which that can help as well. The other thing I will use is SR channels. That can help. See, look, they're all those channels, and it's going down to my next target area that I'm about to find here in a second. But look at that, all the levels hit on here is where those things are at anyways. So that's why I was like, I'll turn those on to see if I miss something. But here, about probably just the bottom down here, to be honest with you. I just target here. That's the next demand. Seeing there's this one right up here. From here to right there. That'll be the next zone above. I'll actually make these ones in white, just to color code some things. People are gonna think I'm crazy. Alright, so this is what I'm looking for on SPY. So currently, this is my resistance, which is my supply zone. Currently right here. This is my support. This is my demand zone. Target zone to be new supply. This will be my target. That is the same thing. You see me misspell that? New demand. Alright, so this essentially is like what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna trade. So currently, this is my resistance right up here, and the current supply zone that SPY is in. This down here is my support, my demand zone. So 573.35 will be my call trigger, break and hold above that. Initially testing the resistance and supply zone, risk to reward. The first thing I'm going to do is attempt a short, as history repeats itself currently with the price action. When this zone is tested, it is rejecting it and coming back down. So by repetition, and the reaction of it, I'm going to try shorts first. The only way I try a long is when it starts to break and hold above 573.33, and then I will go up to, when it does that, that's an SR flip. The resistance becomes support, the supply zone becomes new demand by that point. And then if it breaks above that, since that's my new demand, my target zone is up here, 574.3 to 575, and that'll act as my new supply zone. Okay, so downside, about 569 to 568, that is going to be my support zone, my demand zone. When that is tested, I will look to get calls. And if it breaks and holds below 568, I'm going to target a new demand zone below at 566.25 to 565.4. So essentially it would be when it does the SR flip, goes there, right? And I take my call entry here on point B on the break and hold and retest of that. And then when it breaks underneath here, I will target there. That is what I am currently looking at there on SPY. And then I had these intra-day levels at 571.5, 570.75, and then like 569.6. I do see another level in here I want to mark for a level downside, potentially take a scale at. If that happens, there's another one up here. I think it's probably going to line up with where the initial rejection will be at those points. It looks like it could get like pretty close to it. So we'll see how those two things play out. And let me screenshot this chart. So that's SPY. What I just did here, I'm going to do that every single day before I take a trade on a stock, whether it's AMD, Tesla, whatever it is. So I'm not going to do that on all the ones that I'm about to go do right now. I'm just going to quickly go through it. Is there any squeezes on QQQ currently? There's one on the 4 hour. It's currently going upside. So QQQ currently has a 4 hour squeeze going upside. Ooh, you see how I drew the zone right here? Want to see something cool? Look, if you drag that all the way over here, look at that. This is something that I teach in my mastermind. When I say SR flip, resistance, they break it to the upside with big green candles. When it's retested, they flip it to support. That is an SR flip. So now your supply got flipped to demand, or your resistance got flipped to support, and now we go upside. Then we find new supply wherever that's at, and then play it to the downside. And now we are retesting the same zone here on QQQ. It's funny how that works. And we're rejecting here. Big red candle downside. Currently rejecting it here, right there. So, supply and demand. This is very simple. It's going to line up around that 490. It's like psych level area. This is going to be 477.50. So for QQQ, it is 490 and 477.50. That'll be my call and put trigger. A break and hold above or below one of those two, then I will trade that direction. I want to draw that trend line as well, just in case it backtests that trend line. Could be interesting. Is there a trend line somewhere here? Yeah, kind of, but it broke. Oh, yeah, if you draw this trend line right here, off this low, and then that candle right here, these ones got bought up and held off that one. So that's very interesting. Alright. So 490 and 477.54 on QQQ. Let me mark this level between the two. That's like a midpoint. That's like 483.8. So that'll be a midpoint between supply and demand there on QQQ. IWM. Go ahead and get rid of these things. I already see this currently know that's a really, really big zone, but it's just because of that freaking top wick that's up there. If it wasn't for that top wick, honestly, the zone, it lines up perfectly across, like right there. That top wick up there is just like, I'm going to note it, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Kind of got a bull flag here setting up. Closed over it. I love the 4-hour time frame almost more than anything. This will be my supply. This will be my demand. 226.75. 215.25. And 222 is like smack dab in the middle, like right here ish. That would be like my midpoint. There's also a lot of price action around right here too. I know 220 is right here, but it's like a little bit higher. It's like this 220, like 50 area. Gets a little weird. More like right here, like a midpoint between the price action. So 215.25 on IWM, and then 226.75 upside. If it really starts to break above 222, I think that can be a good right there, and then take that upside. I think that's going to be the move for me, is when it does a break and hold here, I'm going to look to go long and take it up to that supply as target. And then if it breaks and hold above 226.72, then probably just 228 and then 228.75. If it accepts back underneath here, when it bounces back up and it rejects there, that's where I'm going to look to short. So on the initial move down here, I always try calls first. If I see volume and buyers step in, green hammer candles, whatever it is, any kind of bullish sign down here showing that buyers are present, they're going to hold that. Initially, I'm going to look to go long, but when it breaks underneath of it, if I'm long, I close it for the loss. And then when it goes back up here and it retests it and it shows that sellers are present and they push it back down, shooting star, sell volume, pressure, whatever it is, that's where I take the put entry on the retest, and then I'll take that those puts lower. So that'll be how I look at IWM. What's up, Keith? Yeah, market Bishop. Bishop's been around for a while. Let me see if it lets me pull it up. 1,000 people in here. Appreciate you guys. Love you all. See if it lets me pull up the chat. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm gonna roll through this real quick. Tesla, AMD, and UPST. So Tesla, larger time frame, inverse head and shoulders. Let me get rid of all this. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? Kind of trying to perfect it the best that I can. And then you got the other shoulder right here. Okay, so got a little inverse head and shoulders action. on the larger time frame here on Tesla. So the issue with Tesla seems to be around this area. Seems to be the issue. The bigger issue seems to be 265. So if Tesla can get going above 265, 280 ish area would be coming next. After that, I mean, you got those previous little highs right here, like 285, and then 300-ish area right up there. So I really like this inverse head and shoulders. If you go to Tesla on the daily, hit this low right here. As long as it's holding that trend here, I'm going to throw on the daily 9 EMA just to show something. It came down here and retested the 21 EMA, and it held it, and it's popping back up, and it's at the daily 9 EMA. So now the question is it going to put in a lower high at some point and then get rejected and then fail somewhere in this area around like 240, 245? We'll see how that sets up. So watching this trend line here, but watching 265. So I'm going to look for hopefully Tesla to continue higher, kind of run and break above it, and when it does, if it can get that pullback down to 265, then take Tesla to the moon with Elon. So downside, I wouldn't look to short Tesla until it breaks that trend line, which I think if it did, it would line up around the 245 area. I think it would line up around here. So if it does break downside, if it maybe retest it and then take it down lower, that could be something. So wouldn't look to short until it really starts to break underneath 244, 245. But I really like Tesla long term. I am just bullish on Tesla overall currently for the stock. So if it can break and hold above 265, then I like to take it to the upside, 277, 285, and then closer to 300 psych level. So after Tesla, no, it was the Market Bishop. The Market Bishop. Isn't it shitty risk to reward to go long at 573? Yeah, that's why you initially go short. But if it breaks and holds above it, then you just target the previous price action highs prior to that. Hold above 5-minute time frame usually. I'll look at 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. When I'm intraday trading, most of it is based off of the 5-minute. Boom, 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 boom. All right. This is a nice potential reversal on AMD, and it played to the upside. So now you have a gap to fill on AMD here. It's already filling the gap. Currently, it needs to go to 174.5-ish area is the gap fill target. So I'm looking for AMD to continue this strength and go to 175. I'll look to trade calls this week. I'm looking to I said that in the Discord completely wrong yesterday. I think I said call credit spread. I meant to say calls and put credit spread. Let me see. I have to go check that. So I looked to sell. I did say call credit spread, edit. Calls and put credit spread this week. Had to go update that. Cool. So look at the trade calls again on AMD and also do a put credit spread. Potentially sell like the 160s and do like, 155s or something. We'll see where the premiums are at for the end of this week for Friday expiration. So 170 cycle level essentially. If AMD continues to hold above 170 cycle level, I don't see why it wouldn't push to just go fill that gap above with the bullish kind of run that it's on right now. So for downside, yeah, that's the middle level, but there's nothing really too low. Yeah, look, oh look, it kind of lines up perfectly with where I drew it at, where the MMK levels are at the bottom. 158. I mean, I know that's a little bit of a long way down, but that's a really big spot. Got a really big spot around here. Right there, that's a pretty big spot. I mean, this high right there is ridiculous. So, for AMD, as long as it stays above 170, I'll take the calls to go fill the gap. When it breaks 170, I won't look to just go ahead and take the short. I'll look for 168.6 and then take it down to 166.81. Let me change that so it's red for a target. So yellow would be my triggers. So this is my call trigger. This is my put trigger. So above 170, I'm going to take it long to 174.5. Put trigger is 168.6. Then I'll look to take it downside to 166.81. I did that earlier too. I cannot type. Dadgummit. And screenshot that. Last but not least, UPST. So, UPST. On the weekly, looks very nice. So it had an evening star candlestick setup that failed. Kind of got one right here. And see how it got the red downside move? Look at those three candlestick setups. Look right here. Alright, you want to see a big body green candle, a bearish to neutral candle. You got a neutral doji and a big body red candle on the other side. This over here, big body green candle, huge doji, red candle downside. So the same thing. Difference is it didn't go down. They held it. And it's got 4 weekly green candles in a row, with the last one kind of being a hammer candle. So this looks pretty good for upside. Go to the daily, you also have a green hammer candle there as well. Another thing that I noticed is a potential cup and handle. You can probably just draw this entire trend line across the top because it is going to kind of hit that. But you do have a little cup and handle-ish action, it looks like. So this is what I see on UPST currently. So I think this can have a good big move to the upside. I mean, that previous day high is 42.5. It seems to struggle around like 41.75, but it's probably going to be that 42.5 area. When it breaks above that, then target these previous highs, 44.5. And then looks to be like 45.75. Yeah, 45.71. So I'm gonna watch this on UPST. I think this is a pretty good setup if it can break above it and then take it up here. I will look to take my calls on the SR flip at some point in time if it happens at 42.5. So screenshot that on UPST. So SPY, QQQ, IWM, Tesla, AMD, UPST. And then 3 others that posted about in the premium Discord. Excited about those. Said ask him to do SPY again. I'll pull up SPY one last time. For SPY, I'm looking at the 573.3 to 572.40 acting as resistance and supply, so I will go short up here in this area of 572.4 to 573.3. When it does a break and hold SR flip of 573.3, then I will look to take it upside back to 574.3 to 575 area. That'll be my first target zone. Downside support 569, 568. When SPY tests this dollar area again, like it did previously, I will look to go long here. Just better risk to reward to do that first. Same thing with shorting here at the top first. And if it starts to break under and close below and bears take over, then sell it for a loss. And when it continues to close under 568, or it does a retest and they reject it and push it down, that's where I get the short entry. I'll take it down to the previous lows and target the zone down here at 566.25 to 565.4. So hopefully that helped. Go through here. Thank you, random citizen. That's his name. I shit you not. He's an OG. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to post these charts on the subscription page and in the premium Discord as well. The other ones, the other 3 that I'm watching should already be there and then be live this week. Not trading Friday. I will be gone Friday. But Monday through Thursday, I will be in the Discord like normal every day, live trading there. So I see you guys in the chat from the Discord. Love you guys. Appreciate you. 1.2k people in here. Thank you guys. So for the team, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning pre-market. I'll be on Spaces as well. I believe I'm on Wolf Spaces tomorrow morning. And I think that's the only live market talk that he has this week, this morning. So I'll be on Wolf Spaces as well in the morning, just hanging out with all the other speakers and analysts on there. And then be in the Discord every day, live streaming and trading in the mornings. So